How you going, people? This is an interesting little article, and I mean, there's so much more going on here. You might just say, oh, look, California faces historic power outage due to fire danger. Oh, so you read the headline, you go, well, you know what? If there's a fire danger, that's probably a good thing. Man, this thing just stinks to high heaven. So PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, runs the electric and gas in California. And so they're starting to turn off the power for 800,000 customers. And when I was stationed in California in Air Force, let me tell you, we had power outages all the time. And it was always about, we're using too much energy. We need to conserve. We need to stop global warming. There was always something. And then the next breath would be, we're going to increase taxes to pay for carbon tax, footprint, global warming, whatever. And they would raise taxes, and that's why people are flooding that damn state and coming to Texas. But that's a different story. Let me try to stick on this. So they're turning off the power of 800,000 customers. So when you pay for electricity and you think you have electricity, guess what? It's not yours. The government can tell them to turn it off, or they can decide to turn it off. Now, you would think that would probably be illegal, that an electric company shouldn't be able to turn off your electricity, put your life in danger, maybe take away your heating and cooling. You would think that they couldn't do that. They wouldn't have that much power. Well, you would be wrong. According to PG&E, in the Bay Area's lost power, including Vacaville, Roanoke Park, Sonoma, that's all Northern California, Marin County. The outages mark the latest prevention outage in the state history or the largest prevented outage in the state history to try and avert wildfires caused by faulty lines. So they have faulty lines. So here's what's going on. A while back, PG&E, here's the rest of the story that people aren't going to tell you. PG&E got sued because some forest fires started because of their wiring. And because of their faulty wiring, because they're making huge profits and ripping off people, and everybody's getting rich except the poor consumer who's losing their power. So they weren't repairing and keeping their lines up to date. So it caused some forest fires. So guess what? They got sued. Well, because they were held liable in those lawsuits, now they have the ability to say, you know what? If you're going to hold us liable, if government's going to penalize and allow people to sue us, then we're just going to turn off their power every time the wind blows, and we'll say there's a fire hazard. And then when these 800,000 people get upset and complain to legislators and politicians, when they come to us and go, you can't turn off their power, this is causing too much heat, they will say, well, then give us immunity from suits from causing forest fires. And then they will get immunity saying they can't be sued because of their power lines, and then they'll turn back on the power. This is legalized extortion. This is absolutely how government, tyrannical government, how socialist government gain control over the people. You let a private business, which isn't private because the government tells them what they have to do, you let them start removing, they get a monopoly, a government controlled monopoly. The government allows them to be the only energy. So they have a monopoly. So the government allows them to have that monopoly, so they get to make a lot of money. Therefore, they give a lot of money to politicians as kickbacks, and now they have the monopoly, and nobody else can compete against them. So they can raise prices, they can charge what they want, and they can screw people over. But since they're giving some of that profit to the politicians are okay with them having a monopoly. Well, guess what? Now they get to say, we're going to turn off your power, because the politicians allowed people to sue us and cut into our profits. And now the politicians will take heat, and now the politicians will pass rules that says they can't be sued, and then they'll go, okay, we'll turn back on the power. And that's how it works behind the scenes of crooked, tyrannical, socialist, out-of-control government taking over businesses. But the left will tell you, this is a good thing. We need more government. We need more rules and regulation. We need more government telling businesses how to protect and stop global warming because that makes them feel good. And then meanwhile, hardworking people are paying taxes out their butt and they can't make it day to day because the government takes over 50% of everything they earn. Out freaking outrageous in my book. But anyway, you can do your own research. Call me BS. Well, in that there,